Tonight, an update on the UREC construction.
And a positive statistics about Baton Rouge. All this and more Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening, Tigers. I'm Michael Edmondson.
And I'm Jackie Massey. A Boston Marathon bombings victim who lost both her legs took the stand yesterday in the trial against suspected bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Jessica Kensky says she and her husband were only a few minutes from the finish line when the bombs went off. Both of them lost a leg in the bombing. Kensky says she didn't know what was going on until someone told her she was on fire. She says it looked like a war zone. Tsarnaev is accused of detonating the bombs with his brother. Tsarnaev's attorney says Dzhokhar was influenced by his brother to partake in the bombings.
The UREC pool will be closed for around 12 weeks starting March 16th. University Recreation Director Lori Braden says the closure is due to a leak in the pool from the installation of water piping. The UREC will move the lap pool to the natatorium and will be staffed by UREC guards. In an email sent out by Braden to LSU students, she also announced more upcoming projects like pouring the foundation of the gym's floor on March 17th and renovations of the second floor bathrooms. The construction is on track to finish by late 2016.
The LSU Book Bazaar was held last week. The bazaar has been going on since 1976. It has started when the libraries needed funds after the university received budget cuts, so they started a book sale in front of the Union.
Friends of the LSU Library's Book Bazaar was held last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The event has been going on for almost 40 years, and with each year, the bazaar only gets bigger. Over the 3-day period, all of the Baton Rouge community is invited to come and check out all the books. This year, over 65,000 books were donated to the bazaar.
Regular books, they range from 50 cents to $6 to $10. In the collection section, we have some really rare things, first edition and special things, and they will go as high as $100 or more.
These books range from religion to cookbooks to history books to fiction books and even to textbooks.
A mixture of both, but they're not going to be the latest of the first, latest editions, but they will be usable. We have a textbook section, and we have lots of students who buy textbooks from us. So we're pretty current, I think.
All of the books from the bazaar are donated from the Baton Rouge community. They receive books from the average person on the street to the LSU Press to even the West Baton Rouge Library. The workers are all unpaid volunteers who truly have a passion for the books.
Next year we will celebrate our 40th anniversary, and we're looking forward to it. And we're all crazy, but we like it.
For Tiger TV, I'm Sarah Lofdahl.
The workers will start planning their 40th year starting March 23rd. Throughout the year, they will be sorting and pricing the books to get ready for the next one.
Well, February marked the first time that the Baton Rouge community had a murder-free calendar month since March 2006. For the first time in at least 9 years, law enforcement is encouraged by their positive outcome in February. Although there was one fatal shooting, the murder-free period lasted 35 days. January 25th was the last recorded murder until March 1st, when a man was shot to death in his front yard. Elizabeth Winchester with LSU's Baton Rouge Elimination Research Team expressed her idea that the grace period was a result of increased law enforcement involvement in the past month. Law enforcement is hopeful that this successful trend will continue in the upcoming months.
The primary reason that there were no murders in February would be related to the fact that we had a large police presence and sheriff's deputy presence in the community during February. We had several canvasses, cleanups, we had gun buyback program, and having the police presence in the community really does help.
BRPD and the state police are making arrangements to ensure the same results in the future. Now here's Kristen to fill us in on the week's forecast.
The weather's been warming up lately. Do you think it's going to stick around?
I sure hope it does.
Hey Tigers, weather's going to be rough tonight. Temperatures are going to stay in the 60s with light winds picking up at 4 miles per hour. There's going to be a 90% chance of rain, and you can expect to see thunderstorms followed by showers throughout the night. It looks like that rain is going to follow us into Wednesday because there's going to be an 80% chance of rain, and the humidity rate is going to be at 82%. So I wouldn't suggest wearing your hair down tomorrow. The highs for tomorrow will be around 72 degrees, and the lows will be around 63 degrees. Luckily, those warm temperatures are going to stay consistent through this Thursday, where the highs are going to be at 77 degrees and the lows will be at 63 degrees. However, there will be a 90% chance of rain during the day and a 100% chance of thunderstorms for that night. So, looks like you'll need all your rain gear for this week. Keep watching to see if the rain is going to clear up for St. Patrick's Day Parade this weekend. Cody Krupp will be with us for a Tiger Sports update after the break.
He's going to get downhill off the ball screen. Good defense. Got hung up. Hornsby for the win. Boom. Yes! At the buzzer, Hornsby, and the biggest win of the year for LSU.
Good evening, everyone. Cody Krupp here with sports. What a shot it was. Final minutes on the road against a top 25 program. Pressure of a ticket to March on the line. Keith Hornsby with no fear, smooth as silk, and now the Tigers are all but guaranteed a playoff spot in this year's field. Tiger TV reporter Pat Gunther met up with Mr. Clutch himself.
TV's Pat Gunther here with Mr. Clutch, LSU's Keith Hornsby. Keith, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Although the weather is a little bit down today, you know, it's nice outside. Pretty good day for me.
Temperature-wise, I do enjoy it, but, you know, forecast, I could always do with 65 and sunny. But I just have a couple questions for you today, so let's get started if you're ready.
All right.
So I gotta know, after hitting a huge shot like you did against Arkansas, what were you listening to prior to the game? Because you were pretty jacked up after that three.
Prior to the game?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's see. You know what? I was honestly listening to a soundtrack. I was listening to the Imitation Game soundtrack, which is a movie that came out this year. And this I think, the main theme to it. Pretty good. You should check it out.
I've seen it. I enjoyed it.
Dang it, that's good. It came on shuffle, actually, so I like that. It was
Very
good.
nice, like an artist. He's the maestro. So, Keith, obviously a musical background in your family. I've got to ask you, do you prefer Tupac's Changes or your father's Original?
It's been nearly 5 years since two members of the LSU men's basketball team have been named to first team All-SEC. But that came to an end today as Jordan Mickey and Jarrell Martin were both honored for their play this season. The two forwards combined to average nearly 33 points per game and 19 boards. Martin averaged 16.9 points to go along with 9 rebounds. His electric dunk here against Florida was seen in millions of households and is considered one of the plays of the year. Last season, Martin was named to the all-freshman team, and the question of returning to Baton Rouge another year is still in doubt for him. For Jordan Mickey, well, he's still in the nightmare of many. What a year in the paint for the forward. 106 blocks puts him second in team history to Shaquille O'Neal, and to go along with that defensive prowess, he added per game and just under 10 rebounds. But for the players, it's about continuing to work and get that goal.
We got to go out and play like our life's on the line each game. Just going out with the right mindset and playing together as a team. I feel like our team is definitely growing up and mature. So I definitely feel like we're prepared for the tournament as far as possible. Playing together as a team and getting better each night and trying to get victories.
That's something that's called complacency. We can't have that. We still got to be hungry. We still got to try to make a run in the SEC tournament. We have a lot to prove. We're gonna continue to keep playing hard and playing together.
Win the tournament. That's what we're trying to do.
A few other awards of note coming out of the SEC. John Calipari named to the Coach of the Year, with a versatile Bobby Portis of Arkansas taking home Player of the Year. Baton Rouge native Damian Jones also named to first team out of Vanderbilt of note there. The nation's top high school basketball player, not a bad title for an 18-year-old to have, and not a bad recruit having coming to Baton Rouge next season, as LSU commit Ben Simmons can add that title to his accolade collection. He was announced as the Wooten Award winner going into the High School Player of the Year award, and the 6'9" star averaged 29 points and 12 rebounds to go along with just over 4 assists per game. He's committed to playing the McDonald's All-American game on April 1st before heading to New York for the Dix Nationals, which his high school program, Monte Verde Academy in Florida, has won on consecutive seasons. Basketball to baseball, fresh off a perfect record this past weekend in the Houston College Classic. LSU is back into Baton Rouge, riding a 12-game win streak and now #1 in the nation, according to Baseball America. 15-1 on the season and on the longest streak since 2013, when they won 15 in a row from late March to mid-April. The Tigers are the new top dogs. A look at the rankings. Vanderbilt drops to number 5 following a 1-2 trip in the Dodgertown Classic, and Florida takes the second spot at 14-2. Virginia and TCU making out the rest of the top 5. But for Coach Mainieri, he wanted to remind his players that this is a long season.
Listen, given a choice between being ranked number 1 or not being ranked number 1, I'll take it any time. So I'm proud of our team. I think we've played well. But as I reminded them this morning via text message, we're only 16 games into a 56-game schedule, so we've got 40 big ones left in the regular season alone.
A quick note from the Saints organization, Jimmy Graham is going to Seattle next season. That is a loss for those Saints. But we'll be right back with
Selma, Alabama is honoring the 50th anniversary of the Selma riots, which were a turning point in the civil rights movement. Reporter Ryan Nobles has more on how the president marked the event.
They came in the thousands. People from all over Alabama and the entire country made a pilgrimage to Selma to honor the sacrifice of hundreds of protesters who were brutally attacked by state troopers in 1965, a day ultimately known as Bloody Sunday. Congressman John Lewis was among the leaders of the march.
And I want to thank each and every one of you who marched across the bridge on Bloody Sunday. You didn't have to do it, but you did it.
And in the ultimate sign that their efforts made a difference, it was the first African-American president who thanked the marchers for their contribution.
We gather here to honor the courage of ordinary Americans willing to endure billy clubs and the chastening rod, tear gas and the trampling hoof.
And while there was a lot of talk about the past and what happened on this bridge 50 years ago, President Obama made sure to emphasize that there is still a lot of work to be done.
All of us need to recognize, as they did, that change depends on our actions, on our attitudes, the things we teach our children.
And President Obama's comments were echoed by those civil rights leaders still working to make a difference, like Martin Luther King III.
We are no longer doing voter education. I think voter education with voter registration ultimately creates voter participation.
A black president speaking freely and marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, a dream many thought impossible, especially those who were in this very same spot 50 years ago under much different circumstances. In Selma, I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
Civil rights leaders are calling for better access to education opportunities for many struggling in communities like Selma.
Well, it was a day of fun, food, and games on the playground Saturdays. LSU hosted its annual college reunion. Reporter Paige Vaughn has more on how the African American Culture Center wrapped up Black History Month with a bang.
Right now I have Miss Lakeitha Poole. She's the coordinator for African American Student Affairs. Hi, Lakeitha. Hi. Tell me what's going on today.
So we're at College Reunion, which is our culminating event for our Black History Month celebration for 2015. So this is how we just wrap up our big celebration that we've been doing all February long. And so yeah, it's March, but we're trying to make sure we wrap it up with some nice weather.
Okay, and just tell me how the day has been.
Sure, it's been a really, really good day. We've had lots of students come out, lots of alums are here, and even some faculty and staff to support us. So it's been really good. The food's good, the weather's nice.
Okay, and how was it like putting this event together?
It's a big task. So because it's our last event, we always want to make sure that we can get as many people out as possible. So the goal is always to make sure that we're reaching beyond LSU. So we have people here from Southern, BRCC, surrounding Louisiana schools. It's a big task to try to get invites out to everybody, but we've managed to do it because students help us get the word out.
Okay, thank you, Lakeitha.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Paige. The 2016 reunion date will be announced later this year. Up next, we'll have more on the LSU contestant on the show Voice.
Stick with us.
Welcome back. Women in Computer Science at LSU is a new club founded by female computer science majors. Undergraduate Initiative Coordinator Elena McDuff says she believes the computer science department needed a group where women in this field could connect. Campus Life hasn't approved the group yet, but they are already starting a mentorship program and are holding tutoring sessions. Club President Alexandra Willis says she hopes Campus Life will approve WICS by the end of the semester to recruit incoming freshmen for the fall.
LSU's own Travis Ewing is a contestant in Season 8 of The Voice. Tiger TV reporter Courtney Allen sat down with him this morning for a Skype interview to hear about his experience on the show so far.
Graduate Travis Ewing is competing on The Voice, NBC's reality TV show that helps singers find their way to stardom.
The whole process has been the biggest growing experience that I've ever had as a musician.
Ewing's performance on last week's episode is already available on iTunes, and he says that he appreciates the feedback from friends and family at home.
The support has been overwhelming. It's been outstanding. It's been really cool, and I can't wait to come back so that I can play some shows. And thank everyone for supporting me so far in the competition.
Although Ewing can't share the full details of tonight's episode, he says to expect some friendly competition between the contestants.
I can't formally say that I will be on the list tonight, but I can say you should definitely watch. It will be a good one to watch. So yeah, this will be the battle rounds. They started last night, but yeah, they continue tonight.
For Tiger TV, I'm Courtney Allen.
Be sure to tune in to NBC Tonight at 7 to see how Travis does this week. Up next, I'll update you on what's going on in Louisiana politics.
And Kristen Bertel will give us our weekend forecast, so stay tuned.
Hello, welcome back to your weekly political update. Senator David Vitter says Iranian students in college should not be allowed to study nuclear engineering in America. He says sanctions placed in 1979 are in place because of Iran's nuclear threat. According to the reports, the University of Massachusetts in Amherst did not allow Iranians to study nuclear engineering, but changed its mind after several protests. The university says it will create individual study plans instead, so it will follow the sanctions law. Vitter says this is not acceptable because universities should not be in charge of interpreting the law. He says that we are still at war and need economic sanctions until Iran agrees to stop supporting terrorism. Now for some Bobby Jindal news. The USA Today editorial board criticized Bobby Jindal's fiscal policies. The paper says his plan to cut taxes will not increase economic growth for Louisiana. USA Today let Jindal respond with an opinion piece about Louisiana's economic success. In the article, he says Louisiana's economy is better than ever. However, the editorial board calls him out by saying Louisiana has lagged behind national recovery since 2010. On a lighter note, Time.com published an article with the title, "Is Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal America's Next Top Columnist?" According to the article, he has published 47 times in general interest outlets like the Washington Post, CNN, and Politico, and in some conservative outlets like Wall Street Journal, Fox News, and the National Review. So maybe Jindal's secret passion is actually journalism. Who would have thought? If he doesn't run for president, maybe he'll apply to Fox. That's all the news I have today. Stay tuned next week for another update.
Now back to Kristen for the weekend forecast, which will come back.
Welcome back to the weather. Even though it's going to be storming for the next couple of days, I'm sure you're all at least a little relieved to see that we'll have temperatures in the 70s all week. It's going to be very humid and a little breezy through Friday. You can expect to see overcast skies and scattered thunderstorms during the day and rain throughout the night. So be sure to keep those rain jackets and umbrellas handy this week. As we move into this weekend, the rain is going to clear up just in time for the St. Patrick's Day parade this Saturday morning. And Saturday and Sunday will be warm with light winds and partly cloudy skies. By Monday, you can expect to see mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures around 78 degrees. That's all the weather I have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll be back after the break.
Thanks for watching tonight, Tigers. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 5 to find out who won the student government elections.
We'll see you next week.